Good morning, friends. I hope you are well. It's quite nice. As soon as I've turned on the microphone, the birds have come out to say good morning as well. So, really enjoying the morning podcasts. I hope you are too. I'd love to hear any ideas of things that you would like to hear a little bit more about in the morning. My intuition is taking me more towards the lifestyle side of things, where I'm thinking about how fulfilling a life we can lead. You're obviously here because you understand that. You are constantly trying to strive for that, even though there is that element of we will always be working on it, rather than there is a time where it's complete. There will be times where you feel like it's complete, but there's always room for adding that little bit more fulfillment into our life. I think it's a combination of a feeling of levels that exist and we want to achieve and strive for, but I think there's also an element of stage of life and your environment and situation. For example, if you're at university, your fulfillment will be different to someone who is in a job. If you're even younger than that and going from school to university, what brings you fulfillment will be different to when you have kids. So these situations are all different and all very individual to yourself and your current situation. But today I want to talk about leading a fulfilling life over a shallow one, and just delve deeper into the thoughts around this concept. Now, I vividly remember the moment where I created what has been the strongest life philosophy for me in my life so far. I was on a bus. It's funny how you can remember the vivid details. It was raining outside. I was in the city that I am now in, but I was working there rather than living there. Like I say, I was on the second floor of the bus and I was off to a meeting in a job that I didn't like. And I had a tiny bit of paper. Again, the beauty of having something so small that you can write a life philosophy on, when we think of all of the different things that we can put together that can contribute to our life. A 200-page business plan, when you can actually write it on the back of a cigarette packet, for example. The classic cliche. But I remember it was just in a few lines, and it was to lead a simple, fulfilling, meaningful life. And that stuck with me. That's what I aim for every day. The most beautiful things that we get in life come from the simplest things. The more we get, the clearer it becomes that the simple things are the best things in life. Again, apologies about the cliche. And it's a realization that we all have to go through. A realization that we strive for what we think we want, and then we realize what we had was actually quite good. This increases our ability, actually, to be present, be grateful, and work on the things that we live by, the strong values that we create. When I was younger, I wanted to be fitter all the time. I wanted to exercise more. I wanted to be faster, stronger, all these things. And then I realized that I am these things already, and I just need to live by it. I just need to enjoy continuing to improve and be happier as that, rather than almost having this negative outlook on that I am not that yet. And it's the same for anything, from exercise to health to work to habits that we have. Aiming for them to be fulfilling, to be meaningful to us. Even though how simple they can be. I'm very much exploring the aspect and concept of work at the moment, and really delving into the idea of doing what you really love. Doing the thing that you really love so much that you don't need to think about it. It doesn't feel like work. Again, I don't want it to sound like that, but it's almost like when you love it so much that when you feel like you're going through it or you're working through it, that it feels less like work. Again, I think this is a rite of passage. I think, especially at the start of your career, you need to go through things to figure this out and discover. And it's part of the joy of the journey that you mould your values, you mould what matters to you, you mould what you really, really want to do and what you really love. And as long as it provides that fulfillment and that meaning for you, you're on the right path. All you need to do, especially when you're living this type of life, a lot of the things I talk about with self-improvement, is when you reach a certain point, all you're doing is tweaking. You're tweaking the dials to optimize. There's no major changes or major shifts needed. When there is, you have such a strong foundation because you've been working on self-improvement. When you make a big shift, it's because there's a value so strong in you that you have to make that shift and you're ready to adapt, you're ready for the challenge. But for about 80% of the rest of your life, when you have that self-improvement foundation and base, all you're doing is tweaking the dials. When it comes to work, this can be difficult to identify. There's so many aspects of work that change every day. And if you're listening to this and you have a full-time job, you'll understand what I mean when I say that life goes quick when you are in full-time employment. So making sure that it's fulfilling is one of these key elements to looking back and being happy with what you did. One of the things that scares me the most is the someday idea, where you'll do something someday and someday never comes. So doing something that matters to you today is one of the most important things that you can do in life. It's not about not doing work. Again, through the self-improvement journey, you realise that doing work matters to the world. It matters to the world outside you and inside you. The impact is something that is immeasurable. There is something beyond you that when you serve other people, it provides this feeling of inner peace. But if you were to just do it for yourself, you would never get that feeling. So I'm going to leave you with that thought today around a fulfilling life. I know and understand that that's just some thoughts, but I hope it resonates with you because, again, for me, I'm on this path as well. I'm on this path of self-discovery, of finding what I love, trying to continue to evolve my life philosophy. And you're on the journey with me. So, I hope you have a wonderful Friday and weekend. Thank you, as always, for listening and taking your precious time to listen as well. And I will see you all next time. Cheers.